Hello everybody, Rebecca here. We hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year. It's Called Soccer is going to be back 8th of January with a very special interview with WWE legend Sheamus. Now, he joined us in New York to talk to us about his love of Liverpool, and he even had some time to show Gary a few of his trademark wrestling moves. I mean, how could we not? But now it is time to bring you some bonus content from our sister channel, The Overlap. In this special episode of their Stick to Football show, the guys were joined by comedy legend Ricky Gervais.
Everything on here is vegan, by the way. Apart from the milk.
Is milk not vegan?
Milk's not vegan, no. Neither is honey, I don't think.
Thank you. Is honey good for you?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
That's from nutritionists.
It's got to be better than sugar, though, doesn't it?
Eh?
It's got to be better than sugar.
I don't do sugar. Apart from sweets and chocolate. Do you know these tea bags that hang over the side?
Yeah.
Just a pain in the arse, aren't they? They are, aren't they? Like, you just like sit there, it's like in the posh hotels when they have those little sieve things and you're supposed to pour.
Do you not have that at the start? With a sieve?
I've never had it. No. Why do you do that? Oh, sieve.
No, but I've had it before.
You're a bit posher than you sound.
No, I've just got...
Oh, I can hear Wrighter.
Ole, 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 ole. Oh, hello, Gary. Is your name Gareth or is it just Gary?
It's Gary, with one R.
Is it?
It's very plain. It's an extinct name. It's going extinct. There were thousands.
There's only 41 in there or something.
There's
You said
31
the last
or
time.
41 in 2021, and there were thousands, tens of thousands in 1970s.
How are you doing, everybody? Everybody good? Nice.
Is Ian an extinct name?
Yeah, it's an old. Remember we had that chat about how rubbish our names were. I think it's a good show.
Roy and Jill both will be extinct names, I reckon, going extinct.
Yeah.
There won't be
Jill's
many
not-
Roys and Jills knocking
Jill's
around.
like an
Jill's not a
older
great
woman's
name.
name, isn't
Look
it, really?
at Jill dolled
Jill,
up.
you're looking suave.
You think?
You're looking suave, Jill.
Someone
Jill.
did comment on the last episode going, the boys are trying to glam Jill up.
Is that what they said?
As if yous look so perfect that I have to be
Jill, can I
glammed
just...
up.
You look gorgeous, Jill.
Thank you.
We're guests every week.
What's happening? What,
It's overboard.
We didn't need to just...
This is ridiculous.
We didn't need
Where'd
to
you get
just
them
have
from?
vegan, did we? We could have had vegan and non-vegan plate. We could. You've looked after Ricky, but now you've got an angry him.
Yeah.
You, because you ain't got the...
Gary, this is not angry. There's more levels. You know, people go, you're angry. This is not angry.
You're not even
not
at the
got-
base
just making
level
a
of anger.
point.
You're not even at the base... What are these? Where did
Oh, he's not got his
Is
croissants.
Jimmy
And these are all messy.
No, is he sat here?
Yeah. You're always late now.
Oh, he's back. He's
What time do we start?
He's not on time.
I'll tell you what I've been looking for some custard creams.
Look at these, how fancy.
No, they're too fancy. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Kiss,
Steve.
kiss.
Where's the tea?
Which
Exactly.
ones are vegan, all of
Everyone's
them?
getting all
Any tea?
excited.
This is not... That's oat milk, by the way.
I've got my eye on him.
What? He's a star, I'm hearing he's a star. He's a star.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I spotted him right away.
Kieran's made it.
He's got-
I
do
heard
you know what
that Roy and Jill was
he's
getting
got
in the car
comfortable
and
in his
people didn't
job.
even recognise him. They said, Kieran,
He's got
Kieran.
a few fans now last night. Cheers, thank you.
Nice one, Kieran.
Kieran, you know I'm telling the truth. Hey,
Is it, what was it? What was they saying? Kieran.
Kieran, they were shouting at Kieran last night.
Love it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just give people a pathway too early, can't you? And they can just think, Kieran.
Yeah,
just,
but
he's-
Kieran,
I know,
he's a
but
born
stay
star.
humble, stay
He's a
humble.
star.
Jimmy,
getting
where have
carried
you
away.
been? I feel like we haven't seen
I
you
know,
for
I
ages.
apologies. I feel like the band's breaking up, isn't
I
it?
know.
You're a busy man, aren't
He's
you?
back.
You're a busy man.
Everyone's missing you though. They're like,
wouldn't go
where's
that far,
Jamie?
I couldn't miss this one. I changed my holidays to come back to this one.
Seriously?
Yeah?
Just
Thanks for
because of
that.
Ricky, not us.
But not for David Moyes.
Oh, is this
Sorry,
normal?
David.
Is this normal,
Kiss,
T?
kiss, kiss.
What's happening here?
I've done two normals.
Sorry.
Is that a normal? I'll take
This
this
is all
normal.
great.
I'll take. What's everybody's all flustered? What's wrong with everyone?
See, it's the cakes. It's
cakes.
throwing everybody.
Cakes are too busy. Look at them.
It's like we
I
got...
feel like
Cakes are
everyone's
over.
on
They're
edge.
busy.
There is, yeah.
Why is everyone on edge?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Nervous.
Yeah,
We've got a
okay,
global superstar joining us, haven't we?
I know.
Am I
Well,
the-
we've got
You've
you
even put your
every
makeup
week.
on.
I put my makeup on every week.
Who's going to eat the first cake? Is
No,
it gonna be
I'm not
next
eating one of
season?
them. Look at this. What's all that? What's on that?
Are they
That's
real? I don't even think
pistachio.
it's real stuff. Is it real?
They're all vegan.
Why?
Yeah.
I hope
Because
he's
Ricky's
not-
vegan.
Is he?
Oh, why do you
Yeah,
want
what
to eat
about
them
the rest of
all?
us?
You can eat them all.
What's when we take? What you tell him that these are all for
Oh,
you.
I didn't have any breakfast this morning. I thought I'll have a nice
croissant.
He's vegan, but also
Kieran, have you got
diabetic.
any normal stuff?
Do you want me to try and get some?
Oh,
try and
Kieran.
get some
Too late.
You
Don't
just said
worry
the
about
worst
us
thing
now,
ever.
Kieran.
I just thought you
I saw him in the
liked
car
this.
park when I go signing autographs for people in the car.
The only reason I do this is because no one else wanted to do it at the start.
Is it? And now look
I
at you.
said I'll do it. No, it's beneath everyone else, and I went right. I'll
You
do
do
the
it.
teas.
And now everybody wants it
And now
now.
I get the stick.
Roy, try one.
No, but it's
You keep complaining about them, but you might like them.
Try
How do you
that
get your
one.
hand in?
You may like them.
No.
That's a cinnamon one. That's a normal one. It's not, you're not trying
Just
anything.
hold
Hey,
Roy's
I
phone.
experiment. I'm going to trade at the back.
What's your password? 1999. What? No.
Did someone tell you were a comedian years ago? You believed them. We're getting a proper one in a minute.
Jill, has he still got that smash phone?
Yeah, but I want to know his passcode. Let's see if we can guess. It's not 1999.
No, don't be silly, will you?
Don't be sick.
What year were you
passport is-
born?
What are you going to
You
shout?
can't say it
You're gonna
publicly.
shout it out.
In here, not in here.
No one's going to nick this. Ricky's late. Are you going to say anything, Roy? Oh, you're going to bottle it, aren't you?
He might be stuck in traffic.
Oh, but it's not
It
that
might
when
be
we're
genuine. It's when
late.
people are late all the time.
He was really
Honestly,
good.
sure was
Yeah,
excellent.
just you started.
Is he knackered after the shows? I mean, to be fair,
I don't think. No, I think he's at the top of his game now. He's got that hour and 20s on. Even when he finished last time, we were saying, "Is it?" Fit? And it was like, "Yeah, he's gone."
yeah.
Oh, it was
Gone.
brilliant. Perfect timing.
He come
That
back out,
was
didn't he,
your
for a little
bit.
No, he only came back on for a
No, I know,
minute
yeah.
or two.
Roy's
was your belly
feedback
hurting?
of the whole show was like, I love how you're just in and out. Like, about the logistics.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with
Didn't
the
have to
show.
deal with anyone. He didn't have to do no pictures. He had to do pictures in the end.
Yeah. No, someone asked him for a picture and he went, you fucking come to see Ricky Gervais. Why did you for a picture, didn't he?
I swear. I didn't
he?
swear.
He didn't
I
swear.
didn't swear. I don't swear at people.
Okay, well, yeah. You did say something like that, though. You were
Yeah,
like, why are you asking for
why
my
are you asking us
picture?
for? And then I gave him the picture.
You tell them off first.
Not bad.
What's the
Not
pastry
bad.
like?
It's not bad.
I've got plain croissant there. Do you want it?
Ah,
no,
Kieran.
on it.
Kieran,
saying
too little, too
croissant
late
That's
now.
fine. Thank
You
you.
saying croissant?
Here we are.
Oh, he is.
Okay.
How are you?
You okay?
Hello, hi, good, thanks.
Oh,
Yeah, nice to meet you. Hello.
Hey, Rick.
Nice to meet you.
This is like a weird dream.
Oh, you're really good to see you.
Give me some sort of retro, like Life on Mars. And he went, oh yeah, I'll knock off a quick Life on Mars for you.
When people are late constantly,
Yeah.
their time's more important than yours, and that's not good.
I also think, how could you be late to meet me?
Are you two brothers?
What positions did you play?
Well, this is it. I could hide up front and just go, no one.
No one's passing me the ball.
Oh yeah.
That's what he used to do as well. Yeah.
Felt a lot of people were being frustrated. They couldn't say, except you, what was up, what's on your mind. Why have they got leaf blowers?
That is him.
What are they doing? They're going to blow back.
Welcome to Stick to Football, brought to you by Sky Bet. Today we've got an incredible episode of Stick to Football, one like we've never had before. Someone who the five of us all admire greatly, not from the world of football, but the genius, the comedian, the podcaster, the broadcaster, the director that is Ricky Gervais.
You good, my friend?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
We were just saying we had a great night last night.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely brilliant.
It was so good.
These are like vegan.
Especially
these
for you.
cakes.
Oh, thank you. I've just had breakfast, though.
Oh.
Can we get the real ones now?
You are vegan, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've only been vegan for, 2 or 3 years. But I was veggie before that, and I sort of generally phased it out over my life, I suppose.
What's your reason for veggie?
Well, it's always been ethical, I think. I just think, and I do a lot for animal charities, so I felt sort of hypocritical if I was saving dogs but eating sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's what you do, Roy. You save dogs and you eat meat.
Wow.
I've brought the... I'm really sorry.
I'm not the guest here.
Yeah.
Focus on the guest, Jill.
First time I've seen you speechless. What do you enjoy most? Do you enjoy the stand-up stuff, or do you enjoy...
I do. I think I enjoy the getting it together. The initial idea. I think I think the best idea gets is when it's in your head, and then your job is to ruin it as little as you can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's lots of restrictions. You can't just do the first thing that comes in your head because it's not ready. You have to make it understandable and palatable and all those things. So you work on it, and I enjoy it finishing and starting again. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's like a parachute jump. Every time you go out there, you think. You're not enjoying it at the time, but then you land, you go, I didn't die.
Yeah.
I didn't die. That's the sort of euphoria, do you know what I mean? It's like, I suppose it is like an adrenaline sport.
Yeah.
So you still have that worry last night, even you're at the top of your game, you're obviously experienced, and the show was brilliant, like I said, but you still have them doubts going on there going, will people laugh? No?
Not doubt to know, because I know I've done it, so I know it works.
Right.
Once you get it, people are the same everywhere. Right. They're going to laugh at the same point. If you put a graph of the laughs, it would be the same.
Right.
It would be the same every night. I know when they're going to laugh, I know when they're going to gasp, I know when they're going to be quiet, I know, you know what I mean?
Is that because you do those little shows, Ricky, where you go and you do a joke and you say, right, I'm not using that one?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I do about 50 of those, and they're really fun. And
what's it like when people don't laugh at all with the one what you do?
well, you're okay, because if they don't laugh, it's the first time you've done it, and you can make a joke about it, and they like that because they're peeping behind the curtain, and they like being there because they also know no one else is going to see that show.
Right.
So that, you know, and then by the time you're laughing, you know that they're going to laugh forever then, because it's work. You've got to, and it's funny because when you do like a TV show or a film, you do your best guess, you write it, you record it, you edit it, you think, like, that's it, and you can't change it, right? Whereas here, you can change it every night. They tell you what's funny.
Yeah.
So it's more like sort of evolution through natural selection. If they don't laugh, you don't do it, or you make it better. If they do laugh, you keep it. So eventually, you've got an hour where everyone laughs at everything.
Yeah.
That's
you know what I mean?
amazing. Do you ever change that last show, or is that, you know, when you've got the final show?
It's evolving all the time. If you saw a show Monday, Tuesday, it would look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
But if you left it a month, you'd see the differences. It is just like a really slow evolution. And in my last special, I even did a couple of jokes that like were brand new that night, but they went well, so they stayed in. And then you've got the edit as well. You go, well, you know, you can still...
Are you ever worried about getting cancelled in terms of what you say? You're talking about an idea coming into your head and then having to maybe sort of move it around a little bit. Is that...
Well,
I think a lot of comedians, or probably sitcoms and stuff like that, it's like... Do you know what I mean? Does that come into your head?
I'm aware of it, but I think I can justify everything, because I don't go out there and just say the first thing that comes to my head thinking there's no consequence. I don't do that. So I've got to be able to justify it. Everything I do, I've got to be able to go, this is why it's okay.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And a lot of my stuff, because you're dealing with taboo subjects, a lot of it seems worse than it actually is. If you analyse it, it's not that bad. It's just because you're dealing with contentious subjects and buzzwords, and people go, oh, like that. But if you look at the joke, it's fine. It's fine. And I like doing that. I like dealing with taboo subjects, because I want to take the audience to a place they haven't been before. It's like I'm taking them by the hand, and it's through a scary forest, but it's all right in the end. We can all laugh about it. And I think that's what comedy's for, really, to get you through scary things and get you through also what is being cancelled, you know. Some people didn't like it. Fine. I don't know what getting cancelled is. I think you have to actually break the law to be properly cancelled. Otherwise, some people didn't like it. That's fine. That's just fine. That's the way of the world.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This show is sponsored by Huel. Back in my playing days at United and England, our meal plans were strict, but getting proper nutrition on the move wasn't always easy, especially when I was rushing home from training or travelling to a match. I wish I'd had something like Huel back then. Huel is a game changer. Take this Black Edition ready to drink. It's formulated by nutritionists to be the ultimate meal on the go. It's perfect if, like me, you're always short on time, but you want something better than unhealthy snacks or fast food. With Huel's Black Edition, you get 35 grams of protein, 26 essential vitamins and minerals, and over 170 health benefits, packed all into one bottle. And the best way to find out how well it works, try Huel's Taster Bundle. You'll get a range of their products like this and decide which one's best for you. My favourite is definitely the vanilla. So if you're an athlete, a professional, or just want a healthier option when you're on the move, give the Taster Bundle a go. Join the millions who love Huel and unlock your offer now at huel.com/theoverlap. That's huel.com/theoverlap.
Ricky, can I ask you about The Office? I'm obsessed with The Office. Can you just don't leave it?
Do you want a part in the new one?
Yeah, it's just... How long is that in your head? You know, because that's obviously when I'm aware of who you are. The Office just explodes. And I've got to tell you the story. Nicolette, my wife, who went to the show last night, loved it. I had a little bit of a disagreement. She's in one room, I'm in the other. I've been told to put this show on. It's on BBC Two, the first series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and I'm just like, on my own.
Did you know it was real or not? You didn't know if it was real?
Screaming, laughing, thinking, but I got it straight away, because some people can't quite... Do you know the camera's there? There's a doc. You can't quite get
It's
it.
the looks to camera.
I know, and I'm
It's the
just
looks
like,
to
I've
camera.
never seen anything like this. I mean, how long is that in
And
your
the
head?
cast, everybody's amazing.
Yeah, well, that's the craft, that's the hard work, all that stuff. But the initial idea, I probably had the character of Brent like a good few years before The Office, and it was just I used to do sort of like sketches and do characters and take the mickey out of people. That started at school. I do impressions of teachers and stuff. So David Brent was like a Frankenstein of all the people I'd met in my adult life, and he was just a guy who just wanted to be loved. Really, that was it. It's one of those desperate people who just want to be. They just want to be your mate, and they can't. And he's stuck between worlds, and you know he wants to be cool. So he talks about things he doesn't know about it. Yeah.
Still find the Cubans.
But we've all got a bit of Brent in us. We all want to be loved. We all make a prat of ourselves, but there's not usually cameras here.
Yeah.
You know. So, and it was also. I'd watched a lot of docu-soaps of the 90s. Those things where normal people got famous for 10 minutes, like you know, Airport, and and so that's what I thought would be the best format for it, because, you know, as I say, it's one thing making a prat of yourself, but then you have to, when he looks at the camera, it brings the audience into it, because that was to make you feel really uncomfortable. You know, being caught lying, going... and he's suddenly childlike. I still think that's funny. An adult being caught out, embarrassed, is still the most cringe-worthy thing, isn't it? An adult being told off. So you have that character, and you think, what's the best... part for him, and I'd like worked in an office for like 8 or 9 years. You know, you write about what you know, so you put him in that environment. And The Office is perfect because it's about people just thrown together who wouldn't usually meet. No one grows up going, I want to work in an office one day. So it's just all arbitrary. And then you have to deal with everyone. It was also the beginning of another sort of PC culture, actually. People started worried about what they said at work and getting in trouble at HR. Brent wanted to seem PC, but he wasn't. So he just kept getting caught out. Whenever he tried to be cool and down with the kids, or he'd get something wrong.
Get the racism wrong, innit?
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. just going over and going, you know, not my favourite actor. My favourite is
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier.
He knows every word.
I know, but that is to show that he wants to be good. He wants to be, you know, he's not racist. He's not sexist, but he just wants to shout that to the world, and he wants to sort of test himself, and he wants people to know he's a nice bloke. That's funny. And it's about ego as well. It's about, he desperately wants to be loved.
I worry about David Brent, even now I think about it. I worry, what's he doing now? How is he doing?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Those are the kind of things that he was so ingrained into me.
Well, also, I quite liked him, because I felt a bit sorry for him, because I knew he wasn't a monster. And people said, oh, he's the boss from Hell. Actually, he's not a boss from Hell. You'd probably get on all right with him. He just wanted someone to go who wants a drink. That's all he wanted.
So when the program's that successful, when do you know when to say, I need to leave it? When it's popular, or is there issues in the background sometimes? It's
well,
not
I just
simple.
put everything into it, so I just thought, I put everything into it so you got nothing left and leave it there and move on. And I suppose I got the idea from John Cleese doing, it was my favourite show, 40 Towers. So we did 12. And we did 12 and a couple of specials, so it did even more than that. But and I didn't think that was the way to make it last longer, but I think that is the secret to its longevity, that you've only got those ones to watch, and you know you put so much into it. Exactly. I think some people they churn them out, and they can't be good. And even the American ones, and the American one did like 200 episodes, but it had 24 writers and 10 executive producers
and top actors
and 10 million per episode. The first episode of The Office was 140 grand. You know, we shot it with one camera because that's all we could afford.
10 million to make an episode, you mean?
Or The Office, about 3, 4, 5 million it was getting up to, Wow. I just thought, I want to do something else as well. And I've always wanted to, write about what I knew. So by the time that was over, I was in media, so I did extras because again,
Extras.
you want to do about what you know, I think, don't you? Because it's
Extras.
Brilliant, yeah.
Did any of kind of David, was it any of your character when you were in an office? Because obviously we see you in character a lot, so...
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to use my own sort of, body language. I didn't want a funny voice or a funny accent, or also because, I mean, I wasn't really an actor. I was sort of doing an impression of someone I knew deeply, so I wanted it to seem real. Yeah. So if you sort of overact or do things, put on a wig, it can never be as real as if it's you. And sometimes I remember I'd say to the cameraman, sometimes he'd say, "Oh, it'd be better if you came in that way." I went, "No, just film what happens." Because I didn't want it to look staged. I just wanted, sometimes it'd be the side of your head, or you'd make a mistake, and you'd want to leave that in because it was meant to be a documentary.
Can I just say with the extras, the David Bowie one, when he done the song.
One of the best days of my life.
Because
he was a hero.
He's your hero, right?
It's properly my hero, I'd say. It came about the first time.
Did he write the lyrics for that song?
No, he wrote the music.
Right.
In fact, I remember I sent him the lyrics, and I called him. I said, "Did you get the lyrics?" He went, "Yeah." And I said, "Give me some sort of retro, like Life on Mars." And he went, "Oh yeah, I'll knock off a quick fucking Life on Mars for you." and I realised that was so insulting. He's doing my little sitcom. Do your opus. Just knock off a bit. And I just sort of laughed. I laughed. And then he came and it was just really funny. He's really charming. He's really smart. He was really funny. The first time I met him, I was sort of newly famous. The Office had just come out. I think it was like 2002, maybe the next year. And I was invited to one of those things at the BBC. And Bowie was playing. It was like an audience with Bowie, and we watched him. And then we were in the green room after. I was with my girlfriend Jane, and there's people milling around. And then it was Greg Dyke who was in charge of the BBC then, and he bounced over. He said, "You're a massive Bowie fan, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." He said, "Do you want to meet him?" I went, "Okay." Wait, "Do you want to meet him?" Come on, go and meet him. I went, "Okay," right, and we were on the way to Bowie's dressing room, and on the way he went, Salman Rushdie joined us, right? So there's me, Jane, Salman Rushdie, Greg Dyke. He went down, he went, "All right," and Bowie sort of opened it, he went, "Oh, hello," and he was sort of eating, he went, "Hello, Salman," like that, and he went, "Oh, this is Ricky," and Jane, he went, "Hello," and he didn't know who I was, of course, and I said, "Great," he said, "Oh, thank you very much," right, and that was it. And then about a week later, I got an email from David Bowie. He got my email. He could do that. He was David Bowie. He'd got someone had given him the Office DVD. He must have said, "Who was that fat little bloke?" It was Salman Rushdie. Right. Anyway, he did The Office. "What's that?" And he got it on DVD, and he watched the DVD. And he sent me an email, and it just said, "I watched, I laughed, what do I do now?"
Right.
And then we sort of became pen pals, and then I met him.
You were in a band for a few years.
Well, I was in a band for about 6 months. I was at college, and we did a demo. We got signed. We put out a couple of singles. They failed miserably. We were dropped. That was it.
What was the band called?
It was called Shauna Dancing. It was sort of like 1983.
It has Spandau Ballet vibe.
Yeah, exactly. New romantic look. Yeah. Hair, jawline. Clothes that were small. And then you tried for a little while longer and you gave up. And I didn't really get a proper job till I'd given up properly like 27, 28. And that's what led to me working in sort of an office for like...
How did you get the break then to get to where you... to start?
Well, as part of my office job, I was a middle manager in charge of like events at a big sort of college. And I was approached by this new radio station that was called XFM, trying to get their licence. And because they knew I had like loads of students, they said, "Do you want to help us get our licence?" And I said, "Sure." They had to do a week. It's called an RSL, I think, where they try it for a week and show the authorities they can do a radio show. Right, yeah. And I just put it on the back of all my flyers for discos and bands, and they got their licence. And they said, "Oh, as a reward, do you want a job at the radio station?" And I went, "Yeah." It was in Charlotte Street, and they made me the head of speech, which was ludicrous. I didn't know what I was doing, right? And I was meant to sort of sort out the news, and it was too hard. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. So I just sort of, I said it'd be easy if I just come in and do it on the show. And so I just started popping up on the shows, and I was mucking around, and the boss said, "Yeah, you're rubbish at your job. Do that."
So you're supposed to write the actual
I was meant to doing things like giving it to DJs, and like
Okay.
what's on, what's this, that, and I had to organise the news. And I was just rubbish at it. But then they just let me muck around, and then I got my own show, and then I was made redundant from that, and I gave myself 6 months. I think I was about 37. I said I'll become a comedian, and someone at Channel 4 had heard me on the radio. And I got an audition for a thing called the 11 o'clock show. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was Channel 4 at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that was like 98, 99. And I started doing stand-up because I had a little bit of profile. And then The Office came out in 2001.
But how's that happen? You obviously you write something down, or you...
It's like anything. You get a little, and you get your hooks in it,
Right.
and then you meet someone else, and you go, "I'll do this, I'll do that," and I'd written a couple of sketches for someone, and I'd popped up on the radio, and I'd popped up on. I had to follow Ali G as well, and people were saying, "God, you can't do that," and I nearly didn't do it, which is mad, isn't it? People say, you don't want to do that, and then I did it, and it sort of, and then that got me into Channel 4, then. And then made the demo of The Office and BBC Two, and then it sort of snowballs really.
When did Stephen Merchant come into the picture?
He was my assistant at XFM for a while, and then he went to do a training job at the BBC, and so we got access to a camera crew.
And Karl Pilkington.
Then after The Office, we went back to XFM. As sort of like conquering heroes, now they wanted us back, and he was our producer. And he opened his mouth, and I just thought, okay, this is gold.
Was it just like that?
Just like that,
It's
yeah.
Amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah, and then that was another chapter. But all the time, I just kept doing stand-up. Everything I was doing, wherever it was another sitcom or a movie, I always felt stand-up was the thing that I could just always fall back on. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's recession-proof. You know, it's like when everything else is people have still got to go out. They can't download a fake them going out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't think that'll ever go away. That format of just someone standing on a stage and you were there. So I always kept that.
Is your plan to do that for another number of years, the stand-up stuff?
Well,
as
do you
long as
know
have the
what?
energy for it? Or?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, maybe I'll start sitting down like Dave Allen, but I do feel there is sometimes, I don't know if you get this, right, but sometimes I wake up, right, and I go, oh, I shouldn't be doing this when I'm 53. No, you're 63. I go, I'm what? And I look in the mirror, I go, fucking 63, really? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Does it ever shock you? Do you ever...
Like that every morning.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I know. Because in there you still feel 25 or something, and then you try and walk downstairs and you got no joints. My knees have to thaw out in the morning. I mean, you just ache more, don't you?
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This episode of Stick to Football is in association with Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance by checking Allstate first. It's always smart to check first, and I've learned the hard way with this. With the cold season upon us, I always make sure to check the weather before I get up on the gantry for a big game so I can wrap up warm. Checking first is smart, so check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. This content is intended for audiences in the US only. Savings vary, terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance, company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
There was a bit that you said yesterday in the show that reminded us of you actually saying you're getting older and everything just does your head in.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying about the woman on the plane with the bangles.
Yeah.
And I was like, everything.
Like that all the
I
time.
can't. Honestly, I'm like neurotic now.
Yeah.
Like anything noise, I'm at the window like that. I can hear anything.
Yeah.
Like, what's
What is
that?
it?
Jane goes, I can't hear anything. I want to ban leaf blowers. Why have they got leaf blowers?
That is him.
What are they doing? They're blowing leaves into the street. Well, they're going to blow back.
The last episode, he spoke about leaf blowers for
blowers.
about
really?
half
Early
an
in the
hour.
morning. Early in the morning.
Honestly, I want to go to the council. Can we ban leaf blowers? It's bad for the environment. It's noisy. It's pointless. Do you know what I think? I think that gardener's doing it. That he can hear them. He's working.
Right, yeah.
Because they're not doing anything. They're doing it with there's like one leaf that getting it into the.
No, the bit that annoys me, one does it and he blows the leaves down there, and then the other guy's gardener blows them fucking back to where they were. They just keep doing it every day. They blow the leaves
What's
back.
up with the rake and putting it in a bag?
Proper grafting.
I know.
No, they get
or
lazy.
if they're going to do it, get a vacuum.
Yeah.
Vacuum it up so you don't have to. Yeah. But I mean, leaf blowers, noise, lateness. I can't stand lateness.
Oh my God, you were destroyed.
Are you two brothers?
It's rude, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm there, if I'm meant to meet someone, also when I arrange to meet someone at 10 o'clock, I'm there at 20 to 10.
Yeah.
You were today.
I was meant to start at 10:30, wasn't I? I was on time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So their time's more important than yours. That's the way I look at it. When people are late constantly,
Yeah.
their time's more important than yours, and that's not good.
I also think, how could you be late to meet me? Kidding? You should be there. I can't wait to meet you.
I'm not.
No, it really annoys me. Also, it sets it up really. I'm already annoyed. It could be my best friend. If he's telling me, I go, why are you late?
That's what Roy did to Ian, didn't he?
Yeah, he was half an hour late.
He met him for food. He came down
half
for
an hour,
10
that's
minutes
terrible.
That's
later.
ridiculous.
That's terrible. I don't care what it is.
I left.
Yeah, I want to do that, but I can never do it.
You want to leave?
Never do it.
You can
I
never
just
leave.
getting more and more annoyed. Yeah, but it's just, it's unbelievable. There's never a good excuse.
You're a little bit like in the sense we don't hear a lot of Roy when he's not obviously on television. We don't hear a lot about you either. We don't know what you're doing. Are you quite just sort of very private? And...
Yeah. I don't like. Although I think this is one of the first interviews I've done in about a year. I don't think I've done a press interview for about 3 years.
Why have you done this? Can you mind me asking?
Well, it seemed like a good one to do, and I sort of, you sort of lose your nerve as well. You can't be bothered. As you get older, you think, I can't be bothered. There's so much bad faith out there. You say, you have a conversation, and someone's going to clip it up and go, look at this. What do you mean by it? I just think, I can't be bothered anymore. So I just stay out of it. And I've never really been one of those people that thinks that you've just got to do everything to further your career, And it's better now with social media sort of in charge of that. I tweet tickets on sale and they sell out, so I don't have to do those things anymore. Yeah. But before I became famous, I sort of knew it might be an upshot of fame is annoying, but I want people to know I didn't sign that deal with the devil. You know what I mean? Make me famous and you can go through my bins. I always wanted it on my own terms, and I just didn't want to. I didn't want to play that game. I can't be bothered.
Roy said before you're at the very top of your game. Is it because of your high demands and the way in which you are obviously demanding about people not being obviously late? Are you demanding when you obviously are in your performance? Are you?
I don't. Oh yeah. I want things to be. I mean, I don't. I mean, my demands are like, some Gaviscon and a banana. But I do want I want to make sure it's not hot or cold or the everything's right. Yeah. But again, the more you do it, the more your team know it. So it's very rare things go. It's just hard work really. It's stage time. That's the other thing with stand-up as opposed to writing. I've realised now that I think stage time to writing is about 90-10. You can write all the things until you get out there. You don't know if it's any good. Right. If you wrote a stage show now, right, went out there, I reckon it'd have about a 20% hit rate.
Right.
Whereas just going on stage every night, that's where it happens. Yeah. That's where it all happens. It either works or it doesn't. It's as simple as that.
It's similar for musicians, isn't it? They say that live performances is where it's at rather than that writing the albums is just almost like busy fools, they say. You almost like don't get a lot of reward for that. Is it the same with yourself? Or
I think so. I think and you think something, oh, that'd be amazing. You go out there, you say it, and the audience goes, no, it wasn't amazing. And they're right. You know what I mean? You can't argue, no, you're wrong. You should find that funny. And that's the thing about humour in general, you know, it's like, if someone thinks you're funny, they're right. If someone thinks you're not funny, they're right. Because it's so subjective. So, and you do it for you and like-minded people. You do your thing and you find the audience.
Do you think that's why you're so, like, kind of in control? You want everything to be right because the audience is uncontrollable?
I think so. I think I am a bit of a control freak. And then you find you can't do that in society. Like, when you know what I mean? Like that story about the person on the plane. But the worst thing about it is I wasn't allowed to go up and say, take your bangles off. You know what I mean? Because if I was filming and one of the crew had bangles on, I'd go, take the bangles off.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean, this is...
So were you tempted to go up to the woman on the flight?
You would have.
No, I wouldn't have.
No.
I'll tell you what, okay, right, once, I have sometimes... So, we were coming back from New York, right, it was about 9:30 at night. I'm sitting here, Jane's there. Across the little aisle, there's a bloke there, he's middle-aged. We're just sitting there waiting to take off, right? Everyone's in their seats, they've done the through, they're just sitting there. And he's reading the paper. First of all, he's doing that, right? I'm like that. And he goes, he goes, I do that, like that, right? Does it goes, people are looking around, I'm going, like that, right? He does it about 10 times. I made sure there was nothing wrong with him, just in case, right? And then, just in case, you know what I mean? I don't like to offend people. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he went, I went, excuse me, mate, can you yawn without all the stuff after? Right? And he went, oh, sorry, like that. Then I thought, oh, I've got to sit next to him for 7 hours now. Yeah. So I have done it a couple of times. Once a bloke was going, like that. I'm thinking, okay. So I got a tissue and went, there, mate, like that. And he went, oh, right. And then, right, so then I'm all brave, right? Then I'm thinking, I said to Jane, what if he's in the mafia? So now I'm thinking, what if he kills me when I got off the plane just so I gave him a tissue? So that's the other thing. I have all these thoughts, but I'm not brave enough to do anything about it. Would you say something then, if someone was...
yeah, it depends on the circumstance. If it was a family or if I was going to be on a flight for a long time, I think you'd have to say something, yeah. And take that risk of falling out instead of holding it in because...
Yeah,
that's torture.
It's
It's torture.
for 7 hours.
Yeah, if someone's rude on a flight like that, you'd have to say something.
I did it. I went into the lounge at Heathrow, and there was a bloke just watching a programme on a laptop, no headphones.
I had the same last week on a boat going to Ireland. Yeah. It's the rudest thing ever. And they have it on full blast, so you all have to listen to it. Yeah.
And I went over to him, and I went, you've not got any headphones?
Yeah, I said exactly the same.
And he said, no, is it a bit loud? I went, little bit. He went, oh, sorry, right? And I went back down, and he didn't turn it down.
I moved. I had that in the boat last week, and I said, have you not any headphones? He went, no. And I went, it's a bit loud. And he just left it, and I just had to move the seat. I'd done the mature thing.
Yeah.
Which is very unusual.
Yeah.
And
you had someone...
Last night.
Yeah. Jamie had someone annoying him, talking behind him at your show, and I could see your wife was like, don't say anything.
I know, but she's done it 3 times. I had to turn round, and again, I looked at it, and you've got to check if she's... Because I'm thinking, the show's going on. You're talking to the person next to you.
I know. Yeah, the thing is that...
And you just go have a little check. She's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, I know.
Did you say shush?
Yeah, I
did you? Yeah. But when you made me aware,
polite,
it was all I could hear.
I love the one with Roy when you went to the concert and the woman was singing.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
He went to a concert and...
I went to Neil Diamond a couple of years ago. And you know when people join in some of the songs, but this woman next to me was singing every fucking song. You know, even the quiet ones were going, shh, and everyone where I was sitting... were like, shh.
I love this! I love this!
So I was next to the woman, so I was like, shh, everyone. Everyone's saying, be quiet. You know, especially at the slow songs where everyone wanted to listen. Yeah. What did she do after she started singing louder?
Oh, I just like the idea that you were at a Neil Diamond concert trying to keep everyone...
I like Neil Diamond. Do you not like
I love it. I do, yeah.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. This show is brought to you by LinkedIn. When I'm growing my businesses in the UK and the USA, finding the right people is crucial. I need a team that understands the vision and can hit the ground running. That's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in. You know, it's not just a jobs board. LinkedIn is where you find professionals you won't find anywhere else. Even those who aren't actively looking but might be open to the perfect role. So you can hire the pros like a pro. In fact, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. And here's the best bit. 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. My team found talented people who were perfect for the job quicker than I ever thought possible. So if, like me, you're looking to build a great team, post your job for free at linkedin.com/offer. That's linkedin.com/offer to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Afterlife is easily one of the greatest things I think I've ever.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks very much. Oh, cheers.
It's so invoking, bro.
Oh,
and
cheers,
hilarious. Man. You know, that postman, I love the postman. Love the
he's
brass.
great, isn't he?
Love the lady, the
Jen.
brass, the big lady as well.
Yeah, it was fun putting characters together.
Unbelievable.
I wanted it to be a little like a, not surreal, but like a perfect little environment where you saw all the characters every day.
Yeah.
Can I say, what's it? Is it Paul Kay with the...
The psychiatrist.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. That was... There's some outtakes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Honestly. And what that day, one day we were filming it, and they wanted me to. I think it was there's a film school, students' film school, and they wanted to come on and watch. And he was just saying the most horrendous thing, and I was ruining every take by just laughing. I just thought, this isn't a good lesson for students, for the director to be ruining takes and laughing at the most horrendous. Yeah.
You have some funny people, though. There's some really funny.
Well, that's what I did. I got. I mean, they're my friends now, but I just got the funniest people to. It makes it easier, and I get all the credit. So
it's amazing.
Well, what's funny is when you do your first thing, you don't know anyone, so you cast and cast and cast, and you've got something in your head because these people I sort of work with in real life, and I'm trying to, Finch is based on someone, so you want someone that looks a bit like him. We've got someone that looked a bit like him. But then, by the time we've been in it for 10 years, I know exactly. I'm writing the role, and I go, I know who's that for. And they got the parts before I wrote it.
Wow.
So it makes it twice as easy, and then you know what they can do, and you know it helps. It makes it easier. So yeah, and it was. I was worried about that because it was a bit of a departure because it was. I mean, it was a comedy, but it's about a guy who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. So on the page, that doesn't seem like it could be funny. I was worried about that.
Yes.
But
Where did it come from? Where did the whole idea come from?
well, it all happened in about 2 minutes. I was on tour. It was I think I'd started Humanity, and I wasn't doing a TV show, and I felt guilty because I was thinking I'm only working an hour a night, so I've got my days free. I've got that really late work ethic where I feel guilty that I didn't really have a job till I was 28. So now I think I've got to
put in more.
Put in more, yeah. What was the idea? I just thought it was the beginning of sort of cancel culture where people couldn't say what they wanted.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought, what if you didn't care though? Why wouldn't you care? What if if nothing mattered, if you were going to kill yourself, but then you didn't, and you could just say what you wanted? And that I worked backwards from there. I said, what's losing everything? Oh, the love of your life. And that's how it started. So he didn't care. He was going to kill himself, but he didn't. Why didn't he kill himself? His dog was hungry.
Yeah.
And that all happened in like 2 minutes, and that was the basic. Because then he could go around saying anything he wanted, and that was funny. And I just thought people would like to sort of live vicariously through him, because I felt a lot of people were being frustrated. They couldn't say, except you, what was on your mind. I think people think I do that. I don't. I'm really...
Oh, I don't. I hold it up back.
I know, so do I. So do I. And also, it's worse now I'm famous. Like before, I would complain, but now I think if I complain about cold soup, someone would be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think everything... I'm so conscious of that as well.
So is that a bit of
someone got a camera.
Getting your personality out through the characters?
Exactly.
Like you'd like to go and do that?
That bit, that bit in Afterlife where he asked for the child's portion.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, and he
and
stuffs it.
it's only for kids. That happened to me.
It did?
It was in a cafe in Camden. I was with Jane, right? And I said, before I was vegan, I said, can I have the fish fingers and beans? He went, it's only for children. I went, what do you mean it's only for children? It's always made it cheaper. I went, right. And in real life, I went, oh, okay, I'll have the cheese on toast. But in fiction, I can make real life right.
Yes.
So in real life, I say what I should have said.
Do you worry about, because you speak about it a lot, you mentioned it a little bit last night, and, you know, someone maybe writes a review of your show in The Guardian, or someone says that. But you come across to me, obviously when I see you on TV and watch your stand-up, that you don't care about that. But when I listen to you, what you've just said here, and a little bit of what you said last night, it feels like maybe it is at the back of your mind.
I used to. I remember the first time, I sort of feared it, and I just thought, why would anyone say anything horrible about me? Why would they, you know, I'm a good person, why would they say anything, you know, in real life no one says anything horrible about you. And I sort of feared that, and the first review for The Office was terrible. He said, this is shoddy, it's awful. And what's weird is, he said...
so you haven't forgot?
Yeah. I post it a few times. Now I love it. And he said, Gervais sometimes fluffs his lines. I went, like we'd leave that in if it wasn't on purpose. It's a fake documentary. And then you get a few... I think at least once a year for my whole career, one journalist has said his career's over. This is the, you know, and I do. So it actually, I quite like it. Sometimes I go back and look at them because I quite like the feeling, you know, that you know they were wrong or whatever. Yeah. But I don't worry about it now. In fact, I do still seek it out, particularly on social media. Sometimes I will seek out a bad comment because I think I can use that. So no, it doesn't affect me. You mustn't take it personally. That's the thing. They don't know you. That if someone says something about you on Twitter. Right, they go, oh, I fucking hate him, right?
They do.
If they met you
regularly.
if they met you in
Family
real life,
and friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'd ask for a selfie.
Yeah.
They don't mean it. It's just something to say.
No, I don't.
They just,
social media is toxic, isn't it? Especially X or Twitter, and you've probably come off it. And there's a few people come off it and go on it. It doesn't bother me.
No,
because I think the same as you. When people say, "Oh, you mentioned like the trolls last night," so people talk about trolls, other people, but I say. It's not real. It's not real.
It's not, That's exactly right. That's exactly how you got it.
It's easier to say that, though, James.
I know, but I do feel it.
There's a difference between that and targeting and bullying. There is some terrible things. There's some terrible fucking misogyny and racism. Really, really nasty people who live in a basement who should be, you know, have their phones taken away from them. But most of it is bad. They don't mean it. They want... I've had a tweet. When I first got on, I didn't understand it. They'd say something like, you're fucking shit, mate. And I'd look down and I'd find 50 other ones where they were saying, oh, I love this, I love that. And that didn't get attention.
No.
Yeah. So they just try another... It's just to get attention. They just want you to go, oh...
I had a thing with a guy last year, Jim. I was in America last year in this hotel, meeting some lads, but I was by myself, and up the top of the hotel was a pool and everyone was flexing their muscles. I'm sitting there, big guy came over to me and went, any chance of a picture? This is in America. And I went, no. No, I said, I'm waiting for some friends and I'm not doing any picture. He says, nobody knows you around here, you know that. I says, you do.
See, I just do that.
Perfect. It was perfect.
I'm worried that I'm going to be running for a train and someone's going to have a selfie, and I'm going to say yes and miss the train.
Yeah.
I can't stand someone out there who goes, he was a complete arsehole. No, you
There's a documentary.
Well, I kind of do, but it was just it wasn't the right time. I knew the guy was being a bit. I knew he was a bit of an idiot.
I've had one at breakfast today. So someone said, "Oh, I've got some beans and toast. We're going to have a selfie." I go, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Right. Okay, so I went to see Jones Calzaghe in Madison Square Garden. Right? We had VIP. We're in the. There's me and Jane. There was Michael Douglas and Danny DeVito and all that. Right. So.
See the way you Danny DeVito.
He was on my lap.
What table are you under?
So but I had to use the loos, right? And I think the loos are for everyone, obviously. So I went in there, and they're crowded, right? I'm at the urinal, right? I've got my dick in my hand. Someone said, "Can I have a selfie?" I went, yeah, and he just put his arm around me. Unbelievable, and I couldn't say anything. There's a lot of testosterone at a boxing match.
Yes.
you actually get the selfie?
I know, I haven't got it. It's on his phone. I didn't know. Can I have one?
I don't want to see it.
I mentioned Faulty Towers. When you were growing up, who was the comedians that you kind of looked up to? You thought, I loved their type of humour.
It's
Monty
funny,
Python?
Yeah, I was too young for that, but I saw my older brothers and sisters laughing at it, so I was sort of in it at a young age, I suppose. I was in it before I really understood. Faulty Towers was the big breakthrough. But I like the old stuff as well. I like Steptoe and Son, Rising Damp, Porridge is amazing. Stand-ups, it was Dave Allen, Billy Connolly, really. In fact, when I started, I remember I wanted to be like Billy Connolly, just telling stories and being natural.
It was brilliant.
And I still think that it's funny because people say, I think comedy, stand-up comedy, particularly sort of British stand-up, is traditionally, is you're a sort of, you're a jester down with the people, making fun of the bosses or whatever, and that's, you know, and now people know that, you know, how much we earn. So to keep low status, I sort of do it in two ways. One, I sort of let them peek behind the curtain. I go, this is how I embarrass myself in front of these idiots. I still want to know I'm one of them, not one of them. Right? And the other way I do it is I talk about things where they're better off than me. So I talk about being fat and old and dying soon, and you know what I mean. So I never do that thing. And if I do it, I do it so they know I'm taking the piss about being better than them. So they know I'm joking.
I saw a tweet you put out a few years ago. I think it was someone done like maybe what's the thing that you do in America, the awards?
Grammys.
Oh, yeah.
The Golden Globes.
Golden Globes, yeah.
I think there was a big blowback on maybe a joke he'd said. And I remember you put on social media, never apologise for a joke or something like that. Is that a thing for a comedian? Or
it doesn't make sense to apologise for a joke because...
Maybe you mentioned that with Kevin Hart.
You didn't mean it anyway. Yeah. What are you apologising for? What are you... I don't get it. You know, and I think most apologies are because they're scared of... Like, I see actors apologise for something they said because they got a film coming out. The studio have said, well, we paid you 10 million, you better say sorry. And they go, OK, I'm sorry. They don't mean it. You know, you're an adult. You meant to say it. It was a joke. I don't know what you're apologising for. Because you don't mean that either. You just mean, oh, let me carry on. You don't really mean, I'm sorry for saying it. You mean, please let me carry on.
Right.
They kept asking you back to do those awards, and the actual actors and actresses in the audience, they looked terrified at the idea of you mentioning their name. Did you feel that?
I did, and I noticed it the first time. I didn't get it. Like one of the first one I did it, people would come up and say, what are you going to say about me? I think, why do you care? Yeah. Why do you care what I say about you? I don't know why they care. Yeah. I only go after their public behaviours. I don't, you know, expose anything about them or, you know, nothing that bad.
But Ricky, did you at the start of it, because we've never seen that before, we've never seen it since, you just going and hammering A-listers. What made you think, you know what, I'm just going to hammer them? I don't care what the...
Well, I thought... when they said, do you want to host the Golden Globes, all that stuff I said in the show was true. I said, I'm going to write my own jokes. Right? And I thought, who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room or the 200 million people watching at home who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires? And it was a no-brainer. I was doing it for them, you know. And I didn't want to... It wasn't set out to hurt their feelings, but it was... If you're going to make it a spectator sport, then you better have something... There better be something in it for the people at home. Why are they... And if they can't take a gentle ribbon, and they've got everything already, they've got everything. you can take the mickey out of their film or their hair or something. And that was the days when they were revered, where people thought you shouldn't take the mickey out of these wonderful people. But now with social media, everyone knows they're idiots too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they were treated like they were something special, but now we know they're idiots. Yeah. And they've got all the same anxieties. They're stupid, and you know.
True.
So there's just no big deal really. They're just no different to anyone else. I don't know why, and that was because that was fear. You know, no one wants to be made a fool of. So some of the times I looked round the room and I could see people wanting to laugh, but looking at whether they could laugh, you know, because, you know what I mean? They're beholden. I'm not beholden to any of those people. Like, I direct my own stuff. I don't care if a director likes me or a producer likes me. I direct and produce my own stuff, so I don't have to worry about that. So I think I can be more honest in a way. And
Did any of them come up to you after, or did any of them approach you, or?
No, you know, you hear things sometimes that people are a little bit upset, or that someone's. But I don't care. I think I can justify everything I've said. I don't think I've ever been unfair or lied with anyone. And also, what you got to realise, this went out on network telly at 6 p.m. How bad could it have been? There was no, you know what I mean? I didn't do anything that. You know, that's the safest. That is the safest TV you'll ever have. Yeah. So all I did was dare to be a bit irreverent about actors. It wasn't a room full of wounded soldiers. There were people who dress up in rubber suits for a living. Do you know what I mean?
You speak
What did you think about the Will Smith
don't you?
thing? But obviously he got on stage, didn't he? Who was the comedian?
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what happened there, because Chris Rock. It was a mild joke. The annoying thing, I'll tell you the thing that annoyed me about it was, Chris Rock is about 8.5 stone. That's what, I don't think Will Smith would have slapped Russell Crowe. That's what I think. I think it was a bully tactic.
Wow.
I think it was to show off. And I think it was like, I don't know, he just had enough. He just thought it would be a good thing to do. I imagine I think he regretted it as he was walking up there.
He couldn't
He thought, what am I doing? If you look at him going up there, he's got the adrenaline, he's going, I'm going to be a hero, my wife's going to, I'm going to be a hero. And as he does that, he leans back. I don't think he thought, I can't. And I just think he was adrenalised. He would keep your, oh my fucking...
Yeah.
I think it was just showing off. I think it was crazy.
Ricky, can I just ask, do you like football?
I do. I love it now. I went off it for about 30 years. I wasn't anti it. I was just. I played at school, and I actually played football till I was about 30. But I think from probably the age of 30 to 60, I sort of gave up on league. I didn't really know where there was. I didn't have a team. I watched England. Twice a year whenever they were playing, you know what I mean? But and I was aware of everything. I got back into it in COVID with a lockdown when they were doing those games, sort of, you know, with no crowd, and they were a great time. And I just got into it with something to watch, and then what really got me back into it was a documentary. Is it Sunderland Till I Die?
Yeah.
And I thought,
my team, Sunderland.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I loved that show. I just wanted it more. I thought...
Because it was so bad, if you mean. There was, like, the team was struggling. Was that part of it?
Well,
it was like
the fact...
comical, wasn't it?
The fact that it was like a religion to them, you know, like the whole community was involved. I thought it was a really well-made thing. And then I saw the struggle of the players and the financiers and the manager. And then I watched the Man City one, then I watched the Leeds one, then I watched the Arteta one, and I was hooked. And now I'm fascinated with it. I watch every game that's on TV. I absolutely love it again.
Sunderland made Ricky Gervais fall in love with football.
I guess so. And I always liked. I was a terrible player. Not terrible, but.
What positions did you play?
Well, this is it. Well, you're going to laugh, right? I played. Because I thought I could get away with more. Like, if you don't get the ball or you miss, that's all right. If you're a defender and they go, he's fucking useless. So I thought I could hide up front and just go, no one's passing me the ball.
Oh, yeah. That's what he used to do as well. Yeah.
And my other tactic was, as soon as the ball comes to me, hit it, right? Because then you can't be blamed that, it was a skew. So I used to, when I was about 30, I played with my office lot, and we used to go. Where was it? Is it Holloway Road? The AstroTurfs near King's Cross. Is it?
Yeah, there's one there.
Yeah, I played there.
Yeah.
And we were playing right, and I had to take there was a free kick just outside the area, and I said, I'll take it. And I don't know why I said that. I just thought maybe I'll score. I don't know why I thought that, right? And they did a little wall, and I thought, I'll curl it round the wall. I've never done it before. I just thought, I'd sort of seen it, I know. I sort of know how to do it. And I ran up and I kicked it, and it rolled along the ground to the corner post. Everyone was stunned. They just were quiet. They just looked at it, right? And my mate went, "Can I take the next one?" I went, "Yeah, come on." And that was my way. Hiding was my way of sport. Like rugby, I had to play rugby, and I'd get the ball and I'd touch it hard. Don't have the ball. Don't be tackled. Cricket. Now, at my school, I went to all boys comprehensive. The idea of sport was basically to hurt someone, right? Now, I'm not a brave man. I was small. So I can't bat because I would never go in the nets because it was like, let's try and hurt someone. So I can bowl, but I can't bat. So it was like trying not to get hurt. That was my. And I tell you what, I was okay. I'm okay at tennis. I was the best in the school, but only because in my school. Tennis was for people who couldn't fight. So I really got good at that.
Do you play paddle now?
I haven't, no, but I've seen it. It's taken off, hasn't it?
Oh, it's so good.
I still play tennis every week. I love tennis.
It's good. It's such a... Do you play paddle?
No.
If I go abroad, it has a thing.
That's the one with the little bat that...
Like squash and tennis
really
put together.
enjoy it.
Hold on. No, what's pickle then? Pickle is the one that's just...
Yeah,
back and forth.
pickle's
The American
different,
one,
yeah.
is it? Pickle?
Yeah, that's huge in America now. Pickle's the one off when you can play off the back, like
Paddle's
squash.
the one, yeah, you can whack it off the back.
Right,
You'd really enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, I like squash and I love tennis, so I probably would like a go at that, yeah.
It is a good sport.
So you've got this tour now, and how long's that going to go on for? And there's...
I'm probably going to film it. Netflix have bought it, so...
Ka-ching.
Good shoulders. Good shoulders.
That was like a sound effect. I didn't make that noise, by the way.
You can add it in.
Yeah,
We'll do an effect.
I'll film it next October, November.
Yeah.
So basically a whole year, just over a whole year. So they've all been. I do about 14 months, but I do a few a week or one a week because I do like arenas around the world. I probably do more gigs in England, not arenas, than I do everywhere else because I go there for one night. If I fly into Copenhagen or something, I do an arena because I'm there for one night. But I prefer theatres. I mean, that last night is one of my favourite venues.
That's cool.
It's
Isn't it?
just
Really
one of those.
good,
So you're in London next year, aren't you? The Palladium?
Yeah, I'm going to do like...
When's that? The tickets go on sale next week.
That's I'm going to do the Palladium. I think October and November. Tickets on sale next week. I think.
How many does it hold in there?
Oh, that's small.
Oh,
that's
is it?
about about 2,500.
Oh, okay.
But I usually do like a month there, and that's better if you can do that. If you can do a month in a theatre, that's much better than doing a few arenas.
Yeah.
It's better for everyone. But sometimes I have to do an arena because I'm only there for a night, and I'm also doing other stuff, which is mad. I'm working on a new show for Netflix apart from this, and trying to
A different show? Completely different?
completely different.
Wow.
Yes.
Your stand-up, your humour would have to be... Do the Americans get it? Would you tweak it? Or they no?
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, when you're dealing with, famine and Hitler, they're pretty.
Yeah, I'll get it, yeah.
They're aware of it.
universal, isn't it?
I'm aware of it, but just...
Yeah. That's a good answer there, Rick. That was good to kind of get
Have
to
you
the
got any
point.
tips for these two for like how Americans take to you and?
Oh, what are you doing? You're gonna try.
Jamie's
He's
broken America.
I've cracked him. He's still trying.
We're doing a podcast in America.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
About football,
Football, yeah.
soccer.
Yeah.
So were you from England? And you're doing soccer. Yeah, and it's getting there now, isn't it?
Yeah, and the World Cup's there in a couple of years, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so what?
Roy's not happy with it.
Listen, good luck to you.
Yeah, good. Go, keep doing them.
Jill enjoyed this stuff last night about... You were laughing really loud about the devil in hell last night.
I do
yeah.
love
punishment
that.
stuff.
I do love your take. I do love your take on that.
She said your technique was really good.
Yeah, you said you'd never done it before.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch the show.
How far in advance do you plan? Like 2 years, 3 years? How far are you booked out?
Sometimes you've got to do it. I don't like doing it. I'd rather, in case I change my mind or I've got something better to do, I'd rather go, I'm free next Tuesday, I'm doing Wembley, but you can't do that because it's booked up. So some of the bigger ones and some of the more prestigious gigs, and you just have to do them in advance. But I try not to do more, than a year in advance. But you've got to really. So you've got to really commit to that. Can
I ask you about? You mentioned before about sitcoms that you watched growing up, and you mentioned all the ones that we'd all mention. And I vividly remember as a kid, you'd think, that's on tonight, I'm getting on, whether it was The Office, The Royal Family, Phoenix Nights, you're going back to Porridge and Rise and Damn, Fawlty Towers. Yeah. I remember them as a kid. Is there anything like that now?
I'm old?
No, what I'm saying is, have we lost that sitcom that as a nation you all think that's? I think so. I feel like it's gone with The Office. And
I think so. I think particularly I think we're making less of those traditional sitcoms. I don't know whether that's an evolutionary thing or I think that there's so much to watch. Everyone gets less viewers. When you think that Only Fools and Horses used to get 20 million, and now I don't know, Doctor Who gets 2 million or something.
Yeah. I've never watched Doctor Who.
No, nor have I.
What is it?
Got into Doctor Who.
No.
Who is he?
That's the clip, isn't it? We'd just be hated by nerds. I feel I'm with the cool kids. Yeah.
When you're mentioning them programmes, remember Bottom as well?
Yeah.
Used to try and get Babsy Nesbitt. All them.
Yeah.
I loved The Baldy Man. Remember that one?
What was that, the Baldy Man?
It was the man that was bald. But he was like...
How did they come up with the title?
Father Ted. Did you like Father Ted?
Yeah.
Father Ted.
I love Father Ted. That'd be in my top 5. I'd say Fawlty Towers, Father Ted, Blackadder.
Yeah.
Blackadder.
You Father Jack?
Blackadder. You're Dougal. Dougal, yeah. Is it Dougal?
Yeah. I can see that.
That's funny. That's really funny. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Sky Bet. And Ricky, you've got a business.
I have.
Oh, so that's why he's here.
Do you know what, though? I think... I don't do a lot of these anyway, but I think you're the only guys that said they'd even mention it. That's very nice.
It's nice.
What made you go into a vodka business?
Well, I'd been approached to invest in a company called Canna Water, right? And it's what they're trying to do. I'm really into sort of animal charities and all that sort of stuff, wildlife. Yeah. I sort of donate the posh tickets to animal charities and I divvy it out. I love it. I've always loved it. I've always been part of that. And these guys were trying to stop sort of single-use plastic bottles. So they made them out of aluminium, which is totally recyclable. So then I thought, I should do something else like that. And just by chance, I think a friend of a friend said, this guy, he wants it to be sustainable. It's made from British apples. The bottle is 100% recyclable. They're a really ethical company. It's vegan. And I thought, that'd be great. And he wanted to be a partner, so I'm actually an owner in the company. And he just said, do what you want. You can, for your share, I want it to be a global brand. And so that really excited me, apart from the business side of it, and I can sleep at night because it's ethical. The real fun for me is coming up with my own adverts. I absolutely love it. I just think, because, I think we've got one on telly. We keep getting banned. But, the internet is, you can do what you want. So I really love that side of it. We're going to try and make that a global brand. I know you're a bit of an entrepreneur, aren't you?
Yeah, I do bits, yeah.
Yeah, Ricky, I'm just looking at something that Gary does a few adverts on here, don't you?
Is that your choice of drink? Vodka?
I drink anything.
Yeah.
I like beer and I like wine and I like spirits. But I always thought spirits were just to disguise the taste in something like tonic or orange juice. But this really tastes. Really
What are you gonna do?
So obviously you do your own ads and Gary does the ads on here. And I just thought, is there anything you could?
The kids are back at school, and I remember that meant new subjects to learn and new skills to master. Then as a youth player at United, the new season meant new tactics, new ideas, and new challenges. As adults, we don't often get that same chance to learn new things. But if you could, what would you love to teach yourself? What's that for? Same company. Is this going out in this stick to football? Yeah. I'll get fucking killed for that. Anyway, it's done. It's done. Is that someone do the interview, yeah? So, we're coming up to Halloween in the next few weeks, and it's the time of the year where we have fun and... Let's go.
It gets better now.
So, we're coming up to Halloween in the next few weeks, and it's the time of the year where we have fun with the things that scare us. Ooh. But there are always those that we fear that feel... Like when I haven't stocked up on custard cream biscuits, that's not happening. Can you write my adverts for me?
I don't think it's the advert, it's a personality.
I love it. Isn't honesty funny? Isn't just saying the thing that you really need and feel. No, but the funny bit there is him going, oh, that's not happening. That's really great. I love it because everyone knows you're acting. So my favourite thing of anything is the outtakes. I love it. I love on set when something goes wrong. That's the good bit. Do you know what I mean? That's the funny bit. So that's it. You weren't covered. What were you advertising?
Custard creams.
What was it?
What was it?
Oh, you do your own adverts for the podcast?
Gary does. Gary does.
You do them all? Why? Because these don't want to do them?
Yeah, they're just,
We never get asked, actually.
No.
Yeah, Gary does everything.
He promotes brands while we're sitting here looking at
I don't ask them to do it because I just basically don't ask them to do it. I just pay them, basically.
You guys get paid?
Hold on, so is this your podcast then?
Well, not really. It's our podcast, but
right.
Yeah. I set it up a few years ago.
But you organise all your own advertising for it as well?
No, someone else does it over there.
Oh, right. Great.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, well, God.
Could you do that one? Can he work for you?
I could do that,
go on, they're doing adverts.
Go on,
do that one into the camera. Go on.
Are you going to do it?
But do it in your nice posh voice like you did.
I've lost my voice as well, to be fair. Here we go.
Right.
I didn't drink alcohol until I was 18. When I was 18, I started to drink vodka because it was the nicest alcohol that I could taste. You could mix it with Coke, with orange, and with other...
With Coke?
Do you know
I was going to say that was really good. It was that was so articulate and real.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. Come on, guys.
Can I finish? And now that we're a lot more aware of the environment, Dutch Barn vodka is the most sustainable alcohol that you can buy. Buy Dutch Barn vodka.
Yeah! That was really good!
That was really good.
Gary.
Well done.
Great, Gal.
Well done.
I like the one where you say, you need to play some of your adverts, actually.
Let's see.
Have you seen it? Oh, my God, it's fun.
Have you seen it? I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick message to all supermarkets, off licenses, corner shops to say, please stock Dutch Barn vodka. I'm the co-owner of the company, so this could make me a lot of money. And it's a premium quality vodka made from British apples. We're committed to sustainability and the protection of the ecosystem. It's 100% recyclable, the bottle. That's why it's brown. Only one like it as well, so it'll stand out on the shelves. It's how people will remember it, I think. It'll be like, if you're going out, Grandad, can you get me some vodka? What sort? The posh one in the brown bottle. Dutch Barn? I can't afford that. Well, you should have fucking worked harder then. Dutch Barn.
Are you just coming up with that on the spot?
No, I sort of I make notes. So I know what I'm going to talk about, and then it's funny that nearly every advert we've done is the outtake of the advert that was meant to be, but I just put out the outtake because I think that's more fun. It's just like
So you've great freedom. Is that you've great freedom to do what you want, babe?
Yeah,
you've got that stage of your career now.
Yeah, I mean, from I don't know, from early days, I sort of demanded final edit, and once you get it, if you're successful, they keep giving it to you till you fail, and so I've always had it. I've always rather walk away than. I'd rather do what I want.
Even these agreements you might have now with Netflix, you're in total control of everything.
They're great. I mean, that's one of the reasons I went to Netflix.
Right.
Because they don't interfere, you know. It was like, I moved to Netflix there. It was like, there was no interference. It was global.
And they have a trust with you now. They know you're going to produce them. And they just back away from
Because if they fail, they drop me. Yeah. It's as easy as that. I'd rather, I want to sort of live and die by the sword. I don't want to keep compromising to keep the job. I'd just rather do what I want. If it doesn't work, they can fire me. That's so much easier. I don't know. This people go, oh no, please, I'll do better. I'll do it differently. Why? Do something else. Do it your way. You know, I can't stand it. I just couldn't sleep at night if I was just thinking, you're doing it for someone else, then, aren't you? It's not your thing. You might as well, you know. So yeah, I've always wanted to. I just do my own thing and see if it works.
Yeah, but you didn't always have that. Obviously, when you started out, you had to.
Well, luckily, we sort of, with The Office, I said I want to, you know, do it my way, and they went, all right. I think we were low risk. It didn't cost much. It went out on a Monday at 9:30 on BBC Two, and it worked. And then they go, oh, you know, he did it his way, you know, and so they let me. Everyone's just let me keep going, you know. But I mean, one day it'll fail, one day it won't work, one day, you know what I mean? Everything's, you can't keep this up. It just, and then, you know, then I'll die.
Happy ending.
In hell.
Might see Jill down there.
Were you all mates when you were...
Yeah, big mates.
We're still not now.
To be honest,
No, we hated each other.
We weren't, mate.
Did you? Why?
He played for Liverpool, I played for United.
And it's as simple as that. It's the badge, is it? It's that you can't... But you were friends, really, were you? Or you just didn't mix?
Not really. No.
Really? It was like that. It was that rivalry. You weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you like other comedians?
Yeah.
You do, yeah?
Yeah.
Who do you
some.
like coming?
I mean, I don't really mix with him, but I mean...
the guy who was on last night was good.
Yeah.
You picked... Is that your decision?
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, Sean McLaughlin, yeah, he's great. And
Sean's
I've used a lot of people coming through on the new lot. Sean McLaughlin, Red Richardson, Matt Bragg, Josh Pugh, Andrew Mensah, Michael Adewale, you know, they're all the new breed. And
is it important you give them a helping hand?
I love it.
Needs a helping hand.
I love it. I want to know. I just love comedy. I'm a fan. I watch comedy all the time. When I play live, I go back to my hotel room, I'll go home, and I watch a comedy podcast, or, you know, I watch a clip. I watch reels of just comedians.
Yeah.
I love it.
Is it a great boost for them to be on tour with you? It must be good for their career that they're...
Well, I think so. I think it's you know... It
goes hand in hand.
I think so. Right. I think, yeah, I hope...
People do that to you a little bit, do you think, when you... No?
Well, I didn't, because I didn't really go on bills, because what happened with me is I was already getting a bit of TV coverage, and I went along and I started doing stand-up. And by the time I was doing proper gigs, I had my own sort of tour.
Right.
Like in 2002, The Office had come out the year before. The DVD was coming out, and I think my first tour was called Animals, and I think the opening night I was at Soho Theatre to 200 people. I was on the front cover of the Radio Times, which was weird. So I was a new comedian on the front cover of the Radio Times. So I sort of learnt in public, and I look back and I think it was all right, but you know.
But that brings different pressure, does it, a little bit, if you're still just starting out on the stand-up with...
Yeah, it does. But then again, I think people think, oh, I was an overnight success, but I was 40. I was doing this for 40 years. It wasn't like I'd never made a joke before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like I had 40 years of being around funny people and learning stuff and that. So it all goes in. It's all practice. And I think the best practice is real life for anything.
Yeah.
You know, I think that...
And you had an audience waiting for you think? You had that kind of support already?
Well, I think so. And you want to... Yeah, and you want to be different, and they sort of... What it does do is they've come along to see you already. And I think most comedians, if they had to walk out to someone else's crowd, however big they were, they'd have to think about it. Whereas it's your own crowd, they're already there to see you. They know you. So there's a short, you know, they know when I'm teasing them. They know when I'm being ironic. They know when I'm being sarcastic. They know when I mean it and when I don't mean it. They get it all. So that's a lot easier. But that's not because you're famous. It's because they know you, if you know what I mean. They know you.
It's so incredible, though. I think comedians, I've crossed paths with a few these past couple of years, and I'm like, people can say, oh, Roy, you're funny or whatever, but it's a whole other level. Like, your timing, telling a story, getting a laugh. I just think it is so... I think comedians are geniuses.
We were saying last night before the show started, we were all part of a team, so we could turn up on a Saturday and a bit of an injury, you're not feeling, but your team will drag you along. I was thinking for you last night, and I know your experience, and you have it off to a T, but you still might walk up and go, I'm not feeling this tonight, I'm just a bit tired, whatever, or
Yeah.
family stuff going on, and you've got to produce on your own up there. That must be...
But I feel in a way that's easier.
Yeah.
Because I've got no one to let down. I'd rather only be letting myself down. If I was to, I'm thinking, I'm letting them down. I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. I don't care about letting me down because it's my fault. I want it to be my fault. And it's the same when people say, how can you write, direct, produce and act in it? The more you do, the easier it is because the more in charge you are. What's no good for me is having to put my hand up to... I can't do that. If I just do all my way, and then if it fails, I don't care if it fails. I don't care. I did it my way. Thanks an answer.
That's a luxury.
I love
You earned
that.
that. You earned that
I love
luxury, I
that.
suppose. You've earned that.
Ricky.
Well, yeah.
Oh, go on, carry on, Ricky.
No, it's funny as well because I say people starting late, but you were always practicing. You were saying that comedians, it's a skill to it. There's a skill to I suppose, the vehicle of putting you on stage, but I still prefer funny people than someone who's got good at comedy. Right. Do you know what I mean? I'd still rather... Because you meet comedians and they're great at their craft, they're just not funny. They're not funny in a room. I'd just rather... There's no one as funny as your mate and your granddad and your uncle. The funniest person you know is a mate or a family member. It's not a comedian. And I think that's what you try and aspire to be as funny as you are in the pub. Yeah. And that's harder than it sounds,
Well, you do it very, very well.
Oh, thank you very much.
And we were so honoured
Cheers.
to be at the show yesterday. Thanks for the free ticket.
Oh.
We didn't even pay.
I know. Once at a gig, I think it was Hamilton Apollo, at the back was Harry and William, Madonna and Paul McCartney. Not one of them paid. What money have they got between that lot? Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it? Can we come in free?
I would have paid.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
we
Well, you can pay now.
Give me a drink.
I've never got money on me now. I'm like the Queen. I honestly, no one takes cash anymore. I like cash. I
love cash.
I love cash. Look at this.
Harry Enfield, isn't it?
Thank you so much, though.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Ricky, thank you so
great.
much for coming on. Honestly,
believe it.
It's amazing.
Edit that down to a really good 10 minutes. I warmed up, didn't I? Lose the first half hour.
No, it was really
No, Rick, it was good, man. Really,
cheers,
thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to
Thank
meet
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Honestly.
Really good.
Hey, man. You're right.
Really
Yeah,
good.
great.
Oh, you've been nominated for a Grammy. Should we just discuss that to finish?
Oh, yeah, let's come back. Okay,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ,
Let's get that
how can we
back in.
leave that?
Sorry. Ricky, you've been nominated for a Grammy. And we're going to keep all that in.
You're so
Do it again.
natural.
You've been nominated for a Grammy.
Yes.
Aren't you good?
Why does he have to do everything now?
No, he just does.
Let Roy do it. Let Roy do it.
There we go. That's right.
Yeah, come on.
Righty's the man.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Go on, Carrie, you'll do it.
All of you sat it.
All at once. Rick, have you been nominated for a Grammy now?
No.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Ricky, thank you so
Rick.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Show a picture.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ, Lane.
Oh, are we taking? So pictures. Sorry, I wasn't concentrating.
Sorry. Do Ricky's as well.
Need her hair done.
What?
taking a picture.
Come
What
on.
are you doing?
Make up for the picture.
Everything up.
I doesn't matter later on this.
Go on.
Oh, what did she write? Oh, you
Here, she put, trust Camilla.
Brilliant.
brilliant. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic.
Really good
Thank
stuff.
you
Girl,
so
you were
much.
on great form, girl.
Oh, thank you.
Right, you in?
Come on, everyone. Hurry up. Come on, everyone, quickly.
How is this possible? How
Where's
is
she?
it?
Where is she?
Jesus.
The group one.
Oh, of course.
Swindon, lot.